Well, it's time for this year's first edition of Good Day Gardening. I'm here with Brooke Umberger of Hershey Gardens. Thanks for joining me, Brooke.
Hi, Patrick. Thanks for coming out to join us here.
Well, this is exciting. This is my first time here. So we're planting annuals today. That's what we're focused on.
We are. The month of May is a great month to be focused on planting your annuals for the rest of the summer season. You'll have full bloom, full color.
And what you do is you actually lay down the mulch first.
Yes, so something that a lot of people don't do, and it's fine, you can do it in any way that you want to, but what we do here at Hershey Gardens to prep our beds is we edge our beds first,
okay,
and then we rototill them so that the soil is nice and light and fluffy so it's easier for planting. And then we put the mulch down before we put the plants down. And the reason why we do that is because we can just simply push the mulch out of the way, pop the plant in the ground because it's nice and rototilled, and then put the mulch back and you're ready to go.
That's
you
really
don't have to
smart.
worry about
Yeah,
mulching over the plants.
yeah, mulching in between the plants. That's way better. So let me mulch a little bit here. Why don't you hold
Yes,
pitchfork?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to spread some out here. Can I just spread like this?
Yep, perfect.
All right,
Go
cool.
ahead, spread it out a little
Now,
bit.
how much of a layer do you
So
want?
we actually do it pretty thick here at Hershey Gardens. The reason why you put mulch down is because you want it to help with weed control, but you also want it to help keep moisture when it rains so that the plants are getting water to their roots, etc. So that looks pretty good.
This looks pretty good? Okay.
Yep. Do you want to try to spread it out?
Yeah, let's spread it out. Okay. So
Okay.
just a simple
Yep, there
side
you
to side.
go.
Okay.
Perfect. Side to side movements. There you go. That's
nice.
perfect.
It looks nice and rich.
Yeah,
All right.
see, that looks good.
Looks pretty good?
Yeah, that
All
looks
right,
good.
perfect.
It's nice and thick. Okay.
All right, so now what do we do?
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 3 plants here and we're going to place them in that area.
So why can't we just plant seeds? Like, why are we planting plants?
So seeds you can do as for annuals, however, they require a lot of time and a lot of work, and you would have had to do that back in February if you wanted a plant looking like this in May to actually plant. So that's why we're actually using starter plants, and a lot of people that plant annuals do just go to their local store and buy starter plants because it's a lot of time.
Well, I don't have the time, nor do I want to work. So
Okay.
let's get into planting.
Okay, so
the
Patrick,
annuals.
when we go to lay these out, you're going to notice that we have them all spaced fairly evenly apart. So what we did ahead of time was we actually did research on these plants to know how far we need to space them. So begonias, give or take, usually take about a foot.
Okay.
So you can see that we left about a foot for each one of our begonias, and that's what we're planting right now. For some of our other plants, like our coleus, they need a little bit more space, so they have more space in between them. And you notice how we're not planting this plant right up against the edge of the bed. You notice how we're planting it in the bed a little bit. The reason why we're doing that is because, as you can see, we have grass on the edges of these beds, and a lot of people in the home landscape have the same thing. When you come through with your mower, as this plant gets bigger, it's going to fill up this area, and your mower, if you plant it out here, is going to cut off your plant every time that you go by. So that's why we leave a buffer of usually about 6 inches to a foot on all of our beds.
That's smart.
And it's really great for the home gardener too, because when you think about it, when you're planning out how many plants you need, if you're looking at an area and taking, you know, the square footage, you can actually cut it down quite a bit because you don't need plants right out at the edge of your bed.
Gotcha. Is there a certain name for this specific annual, or is it just?
This is a begonia.
This is a begonia. Okay.
Yes, this is a
Sorry,
begonia.
I must have missed that.
The cultivar, the cultivar is actually right here.
Gotcha.
It says that it's Selena yellow.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the
Easy
cultivar
enough.
that we're planting. So do we want to plant
Let's
some
try to
plants
plant
here?
something. All right.
Okay, so what we do, like I said, we already have the mulch in the
Okay.
ground. So we're going to move the mulch out of the way, okay, because this plant was right here. So go ahead, do that with yours.
I'm moving this out.
Yep, go ahead, move your mulch out of the way.
All right.
Okay, perfect. Then you're going to take your trowel. And you're going to dig a hole. You see about how big of a hole you need to dig, because these are not small 606 plugs. These are bigger 4.5 containers.
Not 606 plugs, you say?
No, they're bigger. They're bigger 4.5 inch containers.
All right.
Okay, so you're going to want to dig a pretty big hole here.
All right. Let's see
Okay.
here.
There you go. Perfect. That looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good. Okay.
Now you want to be careful when you pop your plant out of the pot, because you don't want, there you go, to damage it. So just very carefully. There you go.
Oh, it's falling apart here on me. Is this bad?
That's okay. That's
This
okay.
is-
Just make sure you dump the soil and everything
Okay.
in here. And these don't have very big root systems on them, so we don't have to worry about loosening the roots. So now what we do is we just take this soil and we push it. We don't tuck it very, very hard. We just lightly around the edges. Put the
So you
soil
want to be
back
gentle,
around.
is what you're telling me.
You want to be gentle, absolutely, because you don't want to compact the soil, because it's going to be hard for those roots to grow then.
Right.
And then we just bring the mulch back over. And there you go.
Now
Now you have a plant planted.
I'm actually planting an annual that people can see at Hershey Gardens.
Absolutely.
Which is crazy.
Absolutely.
It's just crazy. Please stay alive. I'm sure it will. Otherwise, people will know my work.
Absolutely.
This was fantastic. Now we can come out to Hershey Gardens whenever we please, right?
Absolutely. And like I said, May is the month that we do focus on our annuals, and we will have over 20,000 annuals planted for Memorial Day in May.
All right, what do you have for June, early June? Do you have anything different for June?
So in June, our roses are in full bloom, so a lot of people come out for that. And as well as our annuals getting bigger, we also have a lot of different perennials in the perennial garden and in the children's garden that people like to come out and see.
People love that. I've been out here with my family. This is my first time planting with you, but I have been out here with my family before.
Yes.
My little daughter, she's 2, she loves it. So thanks again, Brooke, for joining
you.
us. Really appreciate it. And we'll be right back with more Good Day PA.